how to hit high velocity and specifically with stride timing. And I probably should say that this is how to hit any kind of velocity too, but this is super helpful at the younger ages. So now help me out here. This one, if I recall, he swings and misses at this. This is an above average speed for the age he is facing. Is that correct? You might be.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
that this is the one that he was late on. It's like in the glove.
Yep. Okay, so he's late on that one. And then on did I not include the other one? Okay, yeah, he's late on that one. Sorry, I'm gonna get there. And this one he's on time for. So on this one, he's on time, and we could talk about what he needs to maybe get extension and some other mechanical things. But just from a timing perspective, I wanna point out something. So this is super helpful. And this doesn't matter if it's baseball or softball. The what you are looking for matters. But this is my son facing a 90-mile-an-hour pitcher after his sophomore season. I forget, but sophomore season. And what I like to do, and he's late and he gets jammed, but right here, he's at his peak leg lift, okay? And so this is something I like to do. I like to look at the peak leg lift. I'll back that up. I like to look at the peak leg lift because that's when you typically are starting to move forward. And so when you're moving forward, you have to adjust when you move forward based off of the pitching speed. So if I stop that clip and then I go not fast forward, zoom over to the pitcher, we can see that the ball is right there in the pitcher's hand. And so he gets jammed, and so we know, okay, he's late. Okay. So if we fast forward, sorry, me navigating laggy computer. Okay, here he is 6 months later working on the after working on that stride type of timing to hit that kind of velo. It's not something in our area. We live in the Pacific Northwest. We just don't see a lot of it. So if you live in the South, you see a lot of it and you get used to it easier, but we don't see it. So we had to practice this. But what happens if we stop his leg lift, well, that's when he gets the hit. I got to slow this down for you. So if we show where he's at his peak leg lift, right? Maybe there, right there, you can see that the ball is still in the pitcher's hand. So he has really picked an earlier time to go. Now, what I like to say is that the best way to find that, my son's got a big leg kick. Other kids have different tempos. The way I like to attack this is go and look at where your kid was at with a good hit, which you did, right? You send in that footage, so let's go find that. And we want to see where he was at when he starts to move forward. Would help if I hit play. And so when does he start to go forward? It's right after. Oh, okay, good. I marked it. There we go. So the ball is just right out of his hand. And this is did you say this was a slower thrower or an average thrower?
This guy's average.
Okay, so this is
And it
average.
was outside and he hit a nice line drive to right field.
Yeah. So he's going at ball release here. And when he's facing above average, he's still going. Maybe he's in a little bit after ball release here. So he's using the same stride timing strategy on both fast and slow. So, and I know we talked about this, but hopefully this is helpful to see some examples. But okay, so what we want to do is I like to go off of three types of timing for teaching, especially the youth hitters. We want to have a hard thrower, an average thrower, and a slow thrower. So we go and we look at what happens. So you just told me he had on an average thrower, if with his stride timing, if he starts to go forward at ball release, he is on time. Okay. So we're going off of facts. We're not just making stuff up, right? So if he's going to face a fast thrower, what has to happen is right here. If you're looking at the pitcher, as he starts to make that move right there, that's when he needs to start going forward. So he needs to go to load later. And then if he's going to face a slow pitcher, he needs to wait till it's it's out of his hand. It's been released. And so those are three types of timing. And so in the on deck circle, what I like to try to tell kids to do is right? All kids know, is this a hard guy, an average guy, or a slow guy? And I'm going to practice loading up and paying attention to when I'm going forward and when do I have to start my load so that I can go forward. So there's two pieces of this that tend to get people caught, and that is some kids can only think about going forward, and other kids that's like too much for their brain and they don't want to think about anything in the go forward part. They just want to start their load and like the rest takes care of itself. So like for my daughter, my son, he likes to just go think about when he's going forward. My daughter does not like to have that many thoughts going through her head. So with her, it's about when she has to start her load so that she's going forward. So that might need to be something like, if he's the kind of hitter that thinks like that, at handbrake, you might need to start your load so that you're on time. So you have to play with what one works best for them. But does that make sense? And I have another thing I want to point out with how to like do this on the machine, and a drill. But does that make sense? Any questions about that?
Yeah, it's making sense.
Okay. Did that help more, or did you kind of already understand that?
Yeah, no, I mean it's making sense, and I think it was a good to get ready in the batter's box
Yep.
and be intentional about like when do I need to pick my timing
Yep.
is good.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so now a couple things with this that I think people jack up. And that's with how to do it off the machines. So, a couple of points here. So, I have three plates that are on the ground. He's not actually doing a three plate drill here, but I really like to use one of our load series type of drills, whether that's one of the step backs or one of the pivot picks, and do it out of three plate. So we will take 2 reps doing a loading drill off of the back plate, then 2 off the middle, then 2 off the front that I have laying down here. And what happens is when you're putting a kid in a loading drill, they really are forced to start earlier and paying attention to when to go. So when you're off of a machine, um, the what I like to do, if you're looking, I know it's, I hope you guys can see it. I'm in the background here. I'm feeding this machine, and if you watch the timing, so like you might, if on the back plate, you might be able to start going forward when I put the ball right there in the wheels. If it's on the middle, it might be at the top of my where I've got the ball raised up. And that's when you have to start. And then when it's on the front, you might have to start the second I raise my hand. So those are 3 different timing things that we have to do. And I want them practicing going at different times. I don't want them going to auto mode, and not thinking about when they are going. So I like to ask them when they're going. That is one thing. The other thing that I like to point out, notice how I don't talk about this ever, and I think it's a super important distinction. I think that it's rough to do machine work with kids when you take the ball, you hold it up, you put it on the ramp, and it kind of jiggles, and then you let it go, and it shoots through. If you watch how I feed the machine, I try to make it one smooth motion. So it's not, it's just up and down, and he's just on an opposite field power day, but which is not the point of this video. I just wanted to show the smoothness of how I'm feeding that. I think that if you're going to work on timing and you as the feeder are just super inconsistent, it's a hard thing to do. So that's how I like to feed it. It has to be the same timing like you every time, and then you adjust when they start by moving them up. So any questions on any of that? Is that any of that helpful?
What are the different like you kind of talked about hand separation from the pitcher, you talked about release, like what are the points you would suggest keying off of to build your timing for faster guys, slower guys,
Yeah.
etc.
So, some some ones that I like, when he goes forward, you go forward. That can work for the she too. The for the girls, when hands separate is one. When can you see me when I do this?
uh Mostly. I
Mostly.
mean,
Okay.
it's,
So, when the start of the turn is one.
okay.
And then at like once you can see the chest is one, ball release is one, and those are enough where like you can get close. And now you're close enough where you're gonna have a chance on that first 0-0 fastball you get because you made sure that you were in the ballpark. But if you picked, you pick ball release and he's a hard thrower, um, and you waited till first strike is thrown over the middle to find that out, and you're late, then Like, not you just missed an opportunity to get a good hit. So, yeah, those are the ones.
Okay. And then
Sound good?
slower is just, if it's a slower guy, it's just wait until
Like
wait
after
till
ball
like
release.
wait a half a
After
beat
ball release is
after ball
one.
release.
Say again.
If it's slower, just it's how many beats after ball release kind of thing.
Yeah, it's tough after ball release on real slow guys. So like right after ball release is like the one cue I have. Another one that will work is have them think I'm sitting curveball. And so actually switching in this cage right here, we'll do that. We'll have this cage be a fastball, and the next cage will be a slow breaking ball, and we'll practice sitting those different speeds. And so when we're working the kids, we'll do a round where you're going to sit fastball, and after three barrels, you're going to hop over, and now you're going to sit curveball for three barrels. And so having an approach of I'm going to sit curveball can kind of automatically slow guys down. You have to play with it to see if it works, but on the slow guys and see if that's helpful. But that's another one.